So we're back, we're drawing the outline of that glove, right, the white part of the glove, and I'm just gonna draw these three um, wrinkles that appear on the top of the glove. And again, I'm just gonna select the pen tool, right, and sometimes it's easier to draw these shapes. They look a little bit more organic. If instead of starting at the top of the shape, I start kind of at the side of the shape, and I'm just gonna show you, and then you'll just kind of see what happens. So I'm going to click one time and I'm going to come over kind of across from the shape, and I'm just going to pull down, and it kind of allows me to create a nice curve right here, right? And then I'll come down to the bottom and I'm just going to drag out my pen tool, right? And then I'm going to click and drag again, and I'm going to come back up and I'm just going to close off or complete that shape. And I'm just trying to get it as close as possible. We may or may not be able to make the stuff perfect, but we're just trying to make it look as good as we possibly can. And I'm just going to, again, begin the second wrinkle. I'm just going to click, and I'm going to come over and click again. And I'm just, again, trying to kind of work by simplifying the shapes. I only want to have as few points as possible in any shape, and I'm going to kind of click again, right? And I'm going to click, dragging out, and I'm going to come back, and I can, drag that out a little bit to kind of correct the shape. The thing that I don't want to do, you guys, is I don't want to do this. I don't want to click. I don't want to make a bunch of little clicks in order to make the shape. And you can kind of see that it doesn't have a very organic feel if you're not using that Bezier tool where we're dragging out these nicer shapes. So I'm going to get my pen tool again. I'm going to click across from it and kind of drag out again, so I have that really nice little peak there. Come down towards the bottom. I'm dragging again. I'm going to come across. I'm going to drag that out a little bit, and then I'm going to go back to kind of close off the shape. And as long as I'm holding down, I can change the shape of that. One other thing that I can do is if I get the direct select arrow, right, the white arrow, and I click on one of these shapes, I can click on a anchor point, and then when that anchor point turns black, I'm able to go in and just kind of minutely reshape the way that looks using those handles. And again, I'm in the white arrow tool, the direct arrow, and I can click and I can move I can move the whole point around to kind of reshape it, or I can just kind of move the handle on the curve to kind of minutely reshape it. And so then the other thing that we kind of want to do as we're kind of working with these three little wrinkles, at some point we're going to punch through these wrinkles are going to punch through the white glove so that you see the black underneath when we draw the outline of the glove. And the way that we do that is I'm just going to get the selection tool, and I'm going to click, and then I hold down the shift key, and I click again, and I hold down the shift key, and I click again, and I just make sure I've only clicked on those three elements. And then I'm going to go Object, Group, right? And then I'll click off, and so these three objects have been grouped together. And now I want to create a compound path, right? I want to create a compound path that allows me to punch these shapes through that white glove. And the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to click on the wrinkles, which now are a group, so they all highlight when I click on one, and I'm going to hold down the shift key, and I'm going to click on the path of the glove, and I'm just going to kind of zoom out a little bit so you can see it better. So I've selected the white of the glove and then these three wrinkles, and then I'm just going to go Object, and then I'm going to go Compound, and I'm just going to make the compound pass, right? Object, Compound, Make. And it's now punched the three wrinkles through, and here's how you can tell that it worked. I've clicked on it, right? So I'm going to go to my stroke, and I'm going to say no stroke, right? And I'm going to go to the fill. So I click on the fill so it comes to the top, and I'm going to choose white because the glove is white. And you can see that I can still see the image behind. Like if I just kind of grab on it and move it around, I can see the image behind because those three areas were punched through. And so then, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to just kind of draw the black outline so that you have the whole glove.